Alright, so here's a post from a woman named Becca. It says, most men are not running away from a great woman. They're running away from parts of themselves they are not willing to fix to deserve her. That's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. Women are just as superficial as men, and in most cases more so. How many men do you know who spend that much money to paint their faces? Your shitty self-esteem is not a man's fault. It's not his problem. You're not willing to fix your self-esteem issue. You think that by dating a pretty boy who treats you like shit, that you're doing great because you've got a better looking boyfriend than the next girl. These men aren't running away from a great woman. They're running away from your fucking abuse. They're running away from you being a manipulative fucking bitch. They're running away from you blaming everything on penises. Women need to be held responsible the same as men. We cannot continue to blame men for every decision that a woman makes. If you don't want to date a dude who's unattractive, that's fine. But don't take it out on the unattractive men when you don't get what you want, or when that good-looking dude abuses you. Why do you always go to the dudes who are not worth dating when you want help? Why? Why is it that when you decide that you want to go back to the dude who abuses you because he's good looking, that it's the dude who came to your rescue that you fucking shit all over? It's a bullshit post, and there's hundreds of these just from today. Meanwhile, there's women like this who have actual problems. Does anyone have some 5W30 full synthetic engine oil that they could spare? I'm about to fry my engine. I need to put a quart in every day because of a bad oil leak. This very same woman has not had gas to take her kid to school. She has to make decisions every day. Do I buy gas or do I get food? You say, well, why don't you just go to the food bank? Gas. Because of gas. I mean, it takes her $10 worth of gas to go to work and back. Plus all the other stuff that she has to run around and do. And you say, oh, well, you should just move to somewhere that's cheaper. Where's she going to get the money to move? Where's she going to get the first and last month's rent? Meanwhile, now she's 30 miles further away from her work. That's an extra hour of travel. That's an extra $30 in gas, depending on what you're driving. Gas isn't cheap. So this woman's got to go to the food bank, right? This is a woman with real problems. She's not blaming her problems on men. This is Victoria. She's from fucking Russia, for shit's sake. Not just any Russia. She's my age. She's from communist Russia. And yeah, she's still got the same addiction to dick. Chris Burnett. I've known this guy for a lot of years. Never did me wrong. But there's a lot of this shit. A lot of it. And I get to see these funny ones. Like right here. Here's one that says, I'm 100% sure this cat knows Kung Fu. See, that's cute. That's adorable. As people want to see on Facebook. To this day, I have people who go out of their way to try to shut down my Facebook and make sure that I never speak out and never get to show evidence. I stuck up for people because they needed it. And I mean that. If I hadn't gone there to the library to deal with Cash and Danny Mac is what he goes by. His real name is Danny Dragon. And then there's a guy who went by the name of Casper. His name is Jerry something. Well, there's a guy named Kelly. Ryan was playing like he was gay because he wanted to get a girlfriend, and he thought that was the best way to do it. He had all of us fooled, actually. But he wouldn't give Kelly a blowjob. So Kelly sent these three men. They were men, even though Danny is short as shit. He's still a grown ass man. To go assault Ryan, and the three of them beat down Ryan. And I went down there to let them know that wasn't going to happen again. When they realized that they weren't going to hurt me bad enough by hitting me, yeah, they left Ryan alone. These very same people who want to talk all that shit and beat people up because they called him a cop caller. That's the excuse they made. They said that he was a cop caller. He didn't call the cops on Kelly. And they beat him up. And you know what? All three of those guys have called the cops on people in front of me. All three of them. Over trivial fucking shit. Danny Dragon tried stabbing a dude on a fucking skateboard, and guess who got arrested? Dude on the skateboard. How fucked up is that? I mean, how would you feel? You're going down the sidewalk in Boulder, Colorado on your skateboard, and here's this dude who's fucked up on drugs who's chasing you with a knife. Yeah, it's on a pretty flat straightaway. You're not going to be able to outrun him. Not on a skateboard. You got to kick yourself up to speed. He wasn't going that fast when Danny started charging him. That guy pulled out a knife, or no, he didn't pull out a knife. He picked up a skateboard, actually. But he thought Danny was going to stab him. The same Danny that beat up Ryan for not giving Kelly a blowjob. The same Danny who I stood in front of when he was trying to stab somebody else to death. Danny isn't a drug seller anymore. He's a family man. But he's also friends with all of those very same people, those very same druggies. And they kind of create a bond because they're all doing the same drugs together. I knew growing up that between myself and my mom's drug dealer, my mom was always going to choose her drug dealer. One of those drug dealers was Doug Cowden. Rhiannon Ingersoll, the girl here in town who's an alcoholic, Doug Cowden raped the fuck out of her. He was her stepdad. The man died in prison, thank goodness. Rhiannon also told me that Stretch, aka David Roop of Chapel, Nebraska, is also a rapist. As well as Roy Kingery. The girls who are here, Roy Kingery is their grandfather. He's a rapist as well. I know quite a bit about Roy. It's because of Roy that I got my driver's license when I was 23. I finally got my driver's license because he needed a delivery driver. The problem is, those girls' dad, his name is Nathan Kingery. And they have a uncle named John. I don't know why they call him an uncle or why he said that he's their uncle. He's really Nathan's cousin. But they were in Chapel, Nebraska, and stealing their dad's money to buy meth to try to have sex with them ignorant farm girls who were addicted to meth. That was their agenda. When I left Chapel, Nebraska, Roy tried claiming that I stole his money and that's how I left Chapel, Nebraska, because I stole his money. No. John and his very own son, those girls' father, were stealing that money. I could even tell you the girls they were doing the meth with. Erica was one of them. I'm not going to stop speaking out because it's wrong. It's wrong to just allow this shit to happen. It is wrong to turn the other cheek just because it's not happening to you. I'm not turning a blind eye to what's happening to those girls. I'm not turning the other cheek to what's happening to those girls. I am the hero I needed as a kid. But we need to go after the actual predators. We need to stop allowing people to be victimized under the label of mentally ill. The people who stole from me were drug dealers. Ken and Leah are literally drug dealers. Leah makes stash hats. Stash hats. So people can put their drugs in them. That's specifically what she makes them for. She also has a few special hats set to the side that already have the drugs in them. They don't need the drug sales to make ends meet. Ken works like a dog. He's a damn good worker. Does that make it okay that he stole from me? No. But I'm not going to lie about the man just because he did me wrong. Now, there's a big difference between making an effort and pretending. Miss Peaches kept on saying that she would, kept on saying that she would. For like 7 months before she made any actual effort to go in with me. And that actual effort, we already knew, both of us knew, that because we were going to be showing up there at 4, that they probably weren't going to take our report. We were both aware of that. And we needed to reschedule it as a result. But she wouldn't tell me her work schedule. She said, well, schedule it and I'll go in with you. Just make sure it's not on my day off. Or just make sure it's on my day off. Well, what's your day off? And then she didn't reply. Didn't reply and didn't reply. I mean, 4 times before Natalie died, I went to Miss Peach's house for help, and video games were the most important thing. That's not entirely true. Her children come first, no matter what. For Miss Peaches, yes, her children come first, and rightly so. But at the same time, when she needs downtime, it's okay. It's okay for her to play Diablo 3. Just like it's okay for Amanda Engeline to spend 4+ hours per day watching Game of Thrones. Just like it's okay for Rihanna to spend 8+ hours a day watching shows about Norman Bates. Just like it's Sally Treon's. The entire time that people were conscious, they were watching that show on repeat about people at a carnival killing people. But it's not okay for me to play video games for my downtime. I have to do what you want, what your special interests are. And if I'm not interested in those things, you are going to punish me. I'm not going to drink. I'm not interested in shows about killing. I know too much about real life situations to watch the fictionalization of it. I have lived through so much hell that just watching the news reminds me that I should be dead. They took away all of my resources, the resources that I needed to be able to take care of myself. They robbed me of the ability to see my loved ones and robbed me of the ability to defend myself. I just had to let people hit me. Let them hit me. Let them drug me. Meanwhile, there's nobody saying, hey, this is fucked up. They'll type it to me, that they won't do a goddamn thing about it. Like Katie Cahill telling me that she would be my lawyer. She's in like Iowa or Illinois or some shit like that. And after a full year, she just couldn't make the time. She had plenty of time. She was doing plenty of shit, going out and having fun. But she couldn't keep her word. And then when it's too late, she's like, oh, well, if you take that down, then all this and all that. No, we're not going to make a deal like that. I'm just going to take it down. And you know what? I thought about it. Taking it down is the wrong thing to do. If it's all right to shame me for things that I didn't do, for crimes that I never committed, then it's okay for me to shame these people for not keeping their word. It's okay for me to shame these people for things they actually did or didn't in some cases. Don't give me your word. Don't say, I promise, if you're not going to keep that promise. Now, there's a lot of people who tried to play the situation differently after they got chastised for lying. Like in my videos, you can hear plainly Graham and Miss Tabby telling the truth. But then later on, when they didn't tell the truth, when they didn't come forward and keep their word, and I let them know how it affected me, that it had affected me in exactly the way that I told them it would if they didn't keep their word, then they want to play victim. Fuck you, you're not a victim. You stole all my shit. That is literally what you did. I gave you money for services that were never rendered. I bought food for the house. I cleaned the house. And if I'd have seen Joshua beating on Sydney on the stairs that day, I'd have done something about that too. You still should have done something about that. Graham, the great Christian warrior, just watched and made excuses why it was okay for Josh to assault a little girl. Now, Sydney is 18 now. She's not a little girl anymore. That doesn't make what he did okay. And people want to be pissed off at me because I'm still speaking out. They tried to make it illegal for me to speak out against the Bollingers, against Ken and Leah, against the exact people that I was trying to get a court date against. I needed help. What I got was treated like shit. And yeah, when you're accused of the shit that I was accused of, people don't want to help you. That's why I needed these bitches to come forward and tell the truth. People like Alicia Bollinger, Maddie Boa, and Natalie Bollinger. All three of those cunts know that I didn't rape anybody. Meanwhile, they're not going to come forward about it. They're just going to play victim. They don't care that their bullshit destroyed more than my life. Their bullshit got Natalie fucking shot in the goddamn head. They should have left me the fuck alone. When I left Virginia, that should have been their fucking hint to leave me the fuck alone. But they couldn't help it. They had the pity party. Oh, it's such a terrible thing. Yeah, you should have told them people the truth. Alicia, you should have told those people. You should have. You and them fucking pigs did everything in your power to prevent me from having an honest day in court. And you and your fucking friends and the cops kept on fucking torturing me and harassing me and fucking threatening me and playing fucking head games and then getting pissed off because I'll make it public. No, you don't get to harass somebody who's disabled and do shit like that and just fucking walk away after destroying lives and go back to your fucking drugs, you stupid whore. Meanwhile, I've been in contact with your friend, Alicia. His name is, let me see. Well, that was pleasant. At least it's cooling off. His name is Bobby Forrest. He's got cancer. He's the one that told me Alicia was missing just a little over a month ago. So I made a video about that. And then Brandon Ratner, he's another one who wasn't able to keep his word. For whatever reason, it doesn't matter. But when his brother went missing, I did the same thing I did for Alicia. The same thing I did for Natalie. The same thing I did for Mandy Singer's son. And the same thing that I did for Shauna Sinclair's daughter. I made a video to try to help find them. The same thing I did for Sarah Rubiolo, except with Sarah, I didn't know how to make videos back then. I just posted up a picture and said she's missing. The same thing with Hannah Pendergrass. Same thing with Brittany Fry. Fuck you.